Welcome back to the Ascension Series. I'm Dime. Today's topic is the universe testing you? The answer is no. No, don't be dumb. Don't. It's not testing you. I want to break this all down for you and help you understand because we do go through timelines where we're like, fuck, am I being tested? Like, what's going on? Because we endure challenges, right? But I'm going to explain to you exactly why we're dealing with that, how to move through that, and that it is, in fact, not a test from the universe. So, might be a little trigger warning. I can be a little spicy. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth yet. So, we're both going to be surprised here. Let's dive into it. I've been going through a lot of revisiting the lesson. So I have a huge retreat coming up in July. I'm in the middle of the finishing editing phases of my book that's coming out in September. And so it's making me like revisit quite a bit of what I've been teaching over the last 20 years. So the retreat is all about anchoring into 5D. It is partially sold out, which is super stoked. I'm super stoked about this. It's going to be the most passionate retreat I've ever taught. It's 3 separate events. So it's July 17, 24, 31 from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. Record it in case you can't make the live. And it's all about moving through and anchoring into 5D and beyond and what you need to do to get there. And one of the things you need to do is stop putting your power outside of yourself. You need to stop saying the universe will provide or all in divine timing or I'm being tested by the universe because this is not how it works. I've shared a gazillion times. You are universal flow. Okay. We'll dive deeper into that another day, but you are the fucking universe in motion, in the physical reality, being the intentional creator of your experience. And that's what you're here to do. Our birthright, our natural state is actually happiness. And being a victim to anything other than happiness is toxic vulnerability. That's first bubble. Boop. Let's pop that. You're going to swallow this pill. Okay. Most of humanity, not all, most of humanity, all of us at some point, including myself, function off of this ache to be understood, this ache to be seen, this ache to be nurtured, loved, valued. That is your birthright, darlings. If you're anything like me, I did not have the slightest drop of that in my childhood, like zero of that in my childhood. I didn't understand happiness. I was in strong survival mode. And that's the whole point of human is to move from survival mode into thriving mode, to move into that vibration of happiness. What happens is when we don't have all of that stuff as a kid or a young adult, right? We start to function off of how do I receive nurturing and does anybody get me? I spent so many evenings alone, aching to be seen, to be valued, to be just kept by someone for fuck's sakes. I know the pain of loneliness. I know the pain of feeling invisible. And my go to habit when I was feeling that, well, one, as a child, I would get injured all the time. Um, they say that's a high sign of ADHD, also ADHD, but whatever. But also, it was my ache. I thought if I got injured, maybe I would receive love. And it's not that I was doing it on purpose. I had no idea that that's what was happening, but I ached to be nurtured and loved so bad. So I was clumsy, unknowingly clumsy, getting injured all the time. Never worked. I would just get pushed off like I was being some needy child. Then, as an adult, my body actually developed very aggressive fibromyalgia and lupus. And that just threw me for a tailspin. And I use that as my victim card. Oh, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Oh my God. I was so toxic with my vulnerability. I would share with everyone the pain I was in because it's such a hidden disharmony in the body, right? It's like nobody knows that you have it. There's no evidence of it. They just think that you're this like tired, complaining, whatever. And I didn't want to be perceived of that. So I was always justifying my pain. I was always trying to explain it to people so that they could understand me. So I didn't feel so alone because that's what it boiled down to. So my toxic vulnerability was in hardcore self victimization towards the disharmony in my body. Then it moved into, once I figured that out, then it went into how broke I was. Oh my God, you have no idea how hard it is to be a single mom. And it's so challenging. And I don't have the finances and I can't do the fun things. And poor me, like toxic vulnerability. Sorry, but it is. Then it moved into how busy I am being, the mom and the dad for my children. I was a single parent and trying to navigate a full career, trying to navigate dating, trying to navigate raising kids, trying to navigate life. And so then my toxic vulnerability turned into being so busy. Like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so busy. Like, oh, no, I can't. I don't have time for that. Oh, I can't work out because, and it was just like this never ending cycle of challenge. And I was creating that. I didn't know then that I was aching. I knew I was lonely and I knew I was sad and I knew I felt invisible in the world around me. And I felt very misunderstood. And I know a lot of you are feeling that as well. It's an inside thing. We'll get to that in a minute. But the toxic vulnerability prevents us from truly aligning with happiness. It prevents us from receiving. Toxic vulnerability can also move into my partner drinks too much and blah, blah, blah. Then they get upset with me. Or my partner isn't spiritual and they're not evolving. My partner's super 3D. You have no idea how hard it is. Let them be, man. Just let them be. When you shift your energy, and this is in the book, like when you shift your energy and in the retreat that I'm going to teach, we teach you exactly how to do it. When you shift your vortex into high vibration, you become this beautiful, big fire. And third dimensional consciousness or low vibrational consciousness or energy is like a block of ice. Okay. You can't start fire in an ice cube. So there's no point in even trying. All you can do is become a bigger fire. That heat will start to transform that ice so that eventually at the core of that ice, they've got their own little spark that can eventually take place. But you have to be the fire. You have to be the high vibration in order to create any shift in your reality. Everything is going to come back to you, matching you. So, whatever it is that you are, you're going to receive. If you are in toxic vulnerability like I was, you're just going to get more reasons to be toxic over and over and over again. You're going to get people who don't understand you, people who ignore your pain points, people who want to talk all about themselves. So you're going to get that equal match where they're just going to be like, oh, me too, blah, 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 and you're going to get that comparison, right? So as we move through this journey, and we avoid the fact that your natural state is meant to be happiness. You're avoiding it. It's a choice. Your happiness is a choice. Being toxic with your vulnerability is a choice, but we don't even know we're doing it until we begin the healing journey. So you've got to dive in and figure out, how do I become seen, heard, valued, loved, nurtured? How can I navigate that for myself, for me, for me? Then you're going to start to receive that. Okay. Now, here's the part where the universe is testing you that I want to share. This thing that we go through, it's very fourth dimensional consciousness to think that the universe is testing you or that God is testing you. There's 8 fucking billion people on the planet. You think that some dude on a throne is like, oh, I'm going to test that one right there. What makes you so special from the 8 other billion people that it's you that's getting tested? Or that the universe, which is the great vastness of all that is, will be like, oh, I'll just hone in and test this one. How's that mountain that you're climbing there, love? Does it feel good? Like it, no, get off your horse. Like, no, that's not what happens. This is what actually happens. So, you know a lot of this, but I really want you to digest it. Okay. The point of humanity is to move from survival mode into thriving mode. We are a species that is multidimensional and we are beyond powerful. You are creating your reality right now. All the bullshit that you're dealing with is because you created it. I'm so sorry. Ugh, hard pill to swallow. I probably would have punched someone out if they said that to me in my 20s. I would have been like, right? But it's true. You are aligning with your vibration. There's 12 universal laws. I refer to them as the 12 principles. There's 12 principles of how you govern your energy and the energy around you. The principle of correspondence, everything is a reflection. So, whatever's going on in your world, what does it make you feel within yourself? Lonely, sad, stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, giving up, forlorn, happy? What is it making you feel? Because that's a reflection of something going on within you. Fear of lack of control, that's a huge one for a lot of us. So, you're going to get your reflection because you are 2 operating mechanisms in one body. Okay. You are consciousness, universal flow, it's in all your cells. And then you are human, your ego self. All of this, like weird stories that happen up in here, is your human experience. The goal is to merge those 2 things. I'm going to go into so much detail in that in July. I'm so excited. But for now, the goal is to merge them, to heal the limiting beliefs that reside within the subconscious that are creating this wild creature, ego self, to go off on a tangent and be in toxic vulnerability or to be toxic within itself or to be a victim to something. Okay. So your vibration is radiating from that whole process, your energy, your vibration. The principle of correspondence is your reflection. The principle of vibration is you, how your energy vibrates, and the principle of attraction, aka the law of attraction, aka manifesting, is like attracts like. That principle is energy comes to the same energy. So whatever you're radiating is what you're receiving. You're always manifesting. So stop reading the 5 steps to manifesting ridiculous bullshit that's out there. Stop it, because you're already manifesting. You're already a master manifester. You already have everything that you are right in front of your fucking face. So have a look at it. And if you don't like it, do better. Right there. Do better. Heal it, change it, transmute it, vibrate differently, receive differently. It's literally that simple. We don't have to overcomplicate it. Okay. Now, the other piece is the principle of rhythm. So this is the kick in the gut one. This is the what the actual fuck one. Okay. So if we are here to evolve from survival mode into thriving mode, have a look around your neighborhood, go to Walmart, and tell me how many amazingly intelligent people do you see? Not a lot. Not a lot. Like, not to be a total asshole, but I, what the fuck is happening? Go look around. You're going to realize that humanity is not at that tipping point of our evolution into thriving mode. We got a lot of toxic and a lot of simple going on out there. A lot of greed based, a lot of closed off, blinders on, walking their little path of ignorance is bliss shit going on around us. Okay. So, this is how the energy works for your evolutionary process, individually and collectively. You will have contrast. You will have things that you do not like, that you perceive as icky or stupid or uncomfortable or challenging or painful or traumatic. You will have that so that you can understand that the opposite is available for you. We're not the brightest species. If you had everything handed to you on a silver platter and you're like, here, then you would only ever become the ease of that. That's awesome if you want to do that. There is lots of people who do that. I'm not interested in being small, and I'm not interested in slow, like at all. Right. So I know it's like this misconception that being spiritual is being like zened out and like, everything's fine. I'm like Buddha. I'm content. I have no material possessions. Everything is easy. There's no striving in my life. And I'm here and I'm one with nature and it's wonderful. That's awesome. I I love my human far too much to not let it thrive to its fullest potential. I love this thing. This is an awesome operating mechanism. And I think it's funny and I think it's quirky and I think it's neat. And I embrace that. I'm here to experience human. So I'm going all in. I'm going for it. And I don't like slow. Patience, not my favorite. Not at all. And it's not that I'm not spiritual. I just know I have the full awareness of how to create my reality. I'm going for it. I'm going all the way in. I'm going to the highest timeline that I can achieve. And the highest timeline from my perspective is not being zenned out and blissed out and pretending that everything's fine and wearing a hippie dress and walking around barefoot all the time. I did that though. I did try that. It wasn't for me. I want to create. I want to create and I want to create change. I want to watch this planet thrive. And the only way that we're going to arrive there is by being that big fire for everything around us. And the more people that become the fire, the more ice blocks are like, oh, I feel something happening. Is it comfortable? Is it uncomfortable? I don't know. And eventually they get it. And that's how we change the world. I want to change the world. I do. I know it's a huge goal. My goal right now is 1/8 of the population. I'm not joking. There's 8 billion people. It's 1 billion people. That seems like a really big number. However, when I look at it as an eighth, I can do an eighth of anything. Like if I had to drink mud, I could get an eighth of the cup in. Like, oh, I could do it. I could do it. I could do an eighth of anything. So I'm going for it. I want to change the world. And I know a lot of you do as well. So first you got to change your own fucking life, right? We know that. So the back to the principle of rhythm and the universe testing you, this is what's really happening. You're going to have contrast. Okay. You're born in a womb, you're born in soup. Like your mama's soup of all of her fucking bullshit. And I'm pretty confident your mom didn't have it figured out or you wouldn't be watching my video. No mom has it figured out yet. Okay. So we've got this woman growing this baby. Don't get on me over the what's a woman thing. There's a uterus. Oh my God, people. There's a uterus growing a fetus, and that fetus is being grown in the vibration of that uterus, of all the energy that she is. If she is tainted, that baby is tainted. You've got some inherited, like, like owning the lineage or whatever. And those of you that have come to this planet to change the lineage, heal the lineage, yeah, that's why, because you were grown in it and you're going to shift it for yourself, which is completely 100% possible. I've done it. You can do this. So we're growing in it. We've got this vibration. We're already starting out of the gates. Bullshit. You're going to get some contrast. My true belief is, well, belief, the way I think right now is the deeper the contrast, look at it like a slingshot. The further that slingshot is pulled back, let me tell you, mine got pulled so far. And I wasn't very smart in the beginning of all of this. Like I couldn't figure it out. So I kept adding to that with being like, oh, I'll date a narcissist. It should be great. Oh, I'll body shame myself forever. That should be amazing. Oh, I'll like blah, all the toxic, like blah, all the way back. Then when it lets go, it's going to go away further. A lot of people are too afraid of the pullback. So the moment something goes wrong, they go into their toxic vulnerability and start throwing a little temper tantrum about it and being all like, oh my God, I can't. And I know it's hard being human. I was there. I was at the point where like, I don't think I was going to make it. I don't think I was going to choose to stay to 45 years old. I didn't think I was going to do this. Now, I love being human. I can't even believe that I say that, but I actually love being human. Like, this is the best time ever. Okay. So, back to the slingshot. You're going to go through contrast. The deeper the contrast through the principle of polarity, it will be equally matched. It will be equally matched. So, whatever it is that you endure, you will receive if you choose to. You will align with the exact opposite. Someone would have told me that when I was like fucking 12, I would have been like, well, hell, it's going to be great. And I would have had a much easier ride. It's a universal principle. That's how it works. So whatever you've endured is where you will arrive if you allow yourself on the exact opposite scale of that fucking slingshot, right? Amazing. Okay. So now what happens when we think the universe is testing us? The principle of rhythm is it's like a coiled spring. So you're going to go up and you're going to be like, I fucking healed it. Check. And then you're going to go down and you're going to be like, this is bullshit. And then you're going to go up a level higher and you're going to be like, crushed it. And then you're going to go down and you're going to be like, And then you're going to go up and then you're going to go down and then you're going to go up and then you're going to go down. And it continues on endlessly, by the way. The cool part is once you identify when it's moving through you, you're like, oh my God. Every time I have a pause or a down, I'm like, oh, it's next. Because you level up every single time. Okay. So one of the downloads I recently got was the low that you endure is an opportunity for you to revisit, have I fully healed that vibration? Have I fully transmuted that vibration? And so many people are going to go, oh my God, the universe is testing me. I can't pay my rent this month. I've been there 100 times. Can't pay my rent this month. Or I keep attracting in toxic partners, or my toxic parents and I'm not brave enough to let go of them and walk away, or my body has disharmony in it, or whatever it be. It is an opportunity, like legit, it's an opportunity. So when the law of rhythm hits you and you get this little pause, instead of being a crybaby and instead of being pouty and instead of being like, I'm human, I'm allowed to feel these negative emotions, I'm giving myself grace and space. Okay, do that. Why don't you just dive into it and be like, fuck yeah, have I mastered this? Is my mind strong enough? Because your mental body controls your emotional body, and your emotional body controls your physical body. And then there's a whole other cycle to it. But your bodies control each other. So your outcome is based on what's going on within you. Is your mental body strong enough to control the outcome? Is it? So whatever you're enduring right now, these lows that we have, These are incredible opportunities to just really celebrate the fact that you've like conquered it. Have you mastered that self lesson, that self leveling up? The universe is not testing you because the universe doesn't give a fuck because it doesn't think anything's wrong or right. It's just like creating energy. Universal flow is creator energy. Okay. It goes into motion the moment thought is put towards something. So the moment thought is put towards something, all that free floating energy is like, check, going into motion. And it starts to create that thought, whatever that thought is. The majority of thought creates the outcome. So as a collective, we're creating some pretty awesome shit right now. Really good at it. But the majority of thought within creates an outcome. So if the majority of your thought is in toxic vulnerability, if the majority of your thought is the universe is testing me, I don't know why I just did that voice, but like, oh, don't. They're like, oh, the universe is testing me right now. So I'm just going to sit here and let myself feel all of the emotions because I'm human. And then I'll probably make a video on it and be like, feel your emotions. You have like, yeah, you have emotion. Go through it. Nobody gives a fuck what you're feeling, by the way. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares that you don't put yourself first. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you do put yourself first. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you have a headache or a backache or that you're broke. Nobody cares because they're too focused on their own bullshit. So stop. Stop putting that out there because the majority of thought is going to create your outcome. And the more space you hold for yourself, the more vibration you are creating. Identify it. Ask yourself where it comes from. Feel all the fucking feelings, move through it, transmute it. That's it. That's how it works. And when you have your low, start to ask yourself, what is next? Because you will level up over and over and over again, and you will never go backwards. The default is you trap yourself with your own toxic vulnerability. You trap yourself with your own self victimization. You trap yourself with how hard it is because that's all you're focusing on. And you're not giving yourself permission to evolve. You probably have some fears in regards to receiving. You probably have a little bit of self worth stuff going on. You probably have low confidence to some degree. You're probably trying too damn hard. And if you're trying too damn hard, that means you're not in the energy of allowing because you're forcing it because you think that it's not going to come unless you force it. So I better try harder. Stop. Don't do that. Simplify it. Simplify it. It's so simple. And we love to complicate things. We love to break it down, digest it, analyze it, study it, dive deeper. Like that's all part of fourth dimensional consciousness. And that's not a bad place to be. I don't judge that at all. I literally, like, I should have a crown that says, oh, yeah, I owned that real good. Like, oh my goodness, I was there for some time, let me tell you, because I didn't know. And you get trapped in these attempts at manifesting, which just leads to failure. You get like, you get addicted to, oh my God, the signs, look, 1111. It makes me cringe. Am I judging? I might be judging. I just don't understand why you would hold yourself small. I think it's what it is. And I think that my real driving force is can we just change this planet so we can get on to the good stuff? Because the toxic shit that's going on is stupid. But I also understand that's an evolutionary process and nothing needs to be forced and nothing needs to be rushed. But in my sphere, no, I don't have time for you. I do not have time for that shit. I do not want it. I do not see it. I have no desire to experience any of it because I resided there for a really long time and I'm far, far over on the other side now. So when I see it, it's more of like a, ooh, ooh, that's sad for you. But you do you, boo. And then I move on. Um, but it's such an interesting world that we're in where I like, honestly, everybody just wants to be seen. Like that's all we're aching for is to be seen. And we're still sourcing it from outside of ourselves. So Would it not then, if that was the actual case, that you just want to be seen and that you have fear of lack of control and that you're afraid that if your partner doesn't match you, that you're actually going to lose your partner and then you're going to be alone and you don't want to be without them? Like, that's the truth. Let's be really, really vulnerable about this. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to do it alone. You don't want to go through a breakup. You don't want to start over again. You just want someone to match you. And why do you want them to match you? So that you can keep them and that you can be experienced and that you can be seen and that it can be equal. And it doesn't feel equal if two people who feel unseen are trying to figure out how to be seen together. And you're projecting onto the other person, because I see it all of the time. I work with a lot of couples, a lot. And what I see so often is, because of you, pointing fingers. I see aching and fighting and projecting your emotions or your thoughts or your opinions, or looking at their potential, because if they hit their potential, then they're going to match you better and you're going to feel better about your own life. And then you can be equal again. And then everything can be easy and it can be safe and you can be witnessed and seen and loved and nurtured. That's the baseline of all of it. We're very selfish creatures. But when you understand that selfish is only an ish, like it's kind of cold ish or hot ish outside, it's an ish. It's a half. It's like a no, self whole. That's a you thing. When you understand how to become self whole, you really start to thrive. And that fire that I talked about takes over, and that heat starts to transmute the thing in front of you, beside you, around you, your whole world, your money, your relationships, your physical body, the way you move through time in a day, your your career, your divine purpose, your pets, everything start to transmute and change to match that vibration. But it's a little bit of a process. It doesn't happen overnight. And then all of a sudden the ice is melted and the little spark in them starts to dry up with your fire. And then all of a sudden it goes into its own little flame. And they go, did you know? And you're like, yeah, I sure did. I'm so happy that you found that. And then they feel their fire and they become a bigger fire. And then you're co manifesting together, you're co creating together as two massive ass fires. It's so good. You become completely unstoppable at that point. And I am very, like, that is where I'm at. My partner and I, fire, fire. There is nothing that we cannot arrive to. Like, we can pull in anything that we desire. He's not spiritual. Your partner does not have to be spiritual. And I think that society has created this falsified version of spirituality. There's like, I'll dive into that in the book because I'm fiery about that one. But thanks, Oprah. And all of the things. We've created this falsified spiritual movement to keep humanity small. We've told humanity that their power is outside of themselves. They don't believe in God anymore. Oh, okay. Let's teach them the universe. Let's just change the name. And humanity is dumb enough to be like, no, I don't believe in a God. I believe in a higher power, the universe. So then they just switch it and they start doing the same bullshit, putting their power outside of themselves, trying to be the best version of themselves that they can. Because if they're a good person, then good karma. That's a whole other topic that I would love to blow apart for you one day. If I'm a good person, then good karma, and then good results, and let it be. And it is what it is. And it's going to be fine because all in divine timing, the things will arrive to me. And they have no idea that they have not changed the internal, hidden, subconscious vibration that is still handing them bullshit. So this is a question that I ask all the time. When I hear people be like, oh, I'm in ninth dimensional, 13th dimensional consciousness. I'm like, you're fucking full of shit, number one. But cool, let's play a game for a minute. How's your life changed? Because when you are anchored into 5D or beyond, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. You are the full creator of your every single moment. That doesn't mean that you will not have little low moments. Like I sprained my wrist and my ankle last month, which was super fun. And you know what's funny is humanity looks through their own lens. Do you know how many comments I got on it's the universe? It's the universe telling you to slow down. Like, no, actually, bitch, it's not. The universe doesn't tell me anything. I'm the fucking universe. It was for a very different reason. I sprained it so that I could get clear on how much I actually really fucking love my life. I moved out of gratitude for a brief amount of time. I'm busy, right? Like I'm planning a wedding. I got my book on the go. It's about to be launched. I'm doing this fucking retreat. We've got the Starseed retreat coming up on the 3rd. Like I still have my own students. We've got a whole fucking team. I'm the CEO of the company. I am like, I wear a lot of hats. A lot. And I'm a mom. And I've got like 5 fucking animals because I love them actually. They're really awesome. And then we've got turtles in the pond and I'm about to get fish for the pond. Like it's a whole vibe over here. I'm busy. And you guys know I'm busy. And so you jump in your lens right away and be like, oh, the universe is telling you to slow down. You just got to take time off. No, what it's telling me is I got distracted by my busyness. I got really distracted for about a week. I was like, whew, this is a lot of things. And I was trying to rush through shit. In one brief moment of rushing through something, instead of being in my gratitude, my thank you, I love you. And so I got laid up. Doctors told me it would be like 6 to 8 weeks. 2. I'm back, bitches. Back to gardening. And the most beautiful lesson that I learned from all of that is I love my fucking life. I love gardening. Like, I love it. I never thought I would say that. Like, it sounds like such an old lady thing. And Corey and I joke all the time about it. It was like, oh, I guess this is 46. Like, oh, but I do. I love creating and I love building something. And it's such a, oh, it's an amazing experience. I manage my day so my day doesn't manage me. Everything fits in with absolute ease. I am never stressed about time. But thank you for your lens and telling me that the universe had something to say. You got to stop doing that. Not to me, but to everything. One, don't look through your lens. You're looking through your own vibration. So you got your own set of glasses on that you're looking through your vibration, and that's how you perceive the world. But that's not my experience, and that's not Bob's experience, and that's not Susie's experience. That's not their experiences. They have their own vibration they're looking through. So you can dial that one back and be like, oh, what did you discover through that? Like, why don't you just be curious instead of telling someone what you think? Food for thought, like rude. Anyway, there's that. 2, take the time, like really start to really look at how the principles are working through you. Really understand that you are universal flow. There's a whole analogy on the sea of consciousness that I've taught. It's a beautiful analogy and it's so easy to digest. But we are submerged in oneness. You are submerged in universal flow. You are universal flow. It is in every single one of your cells. It is the space in between your cells. It is in your cells. It's so stunning what we are. And we are put into physical reality. We've created through universal flow, we've created ourselves into the physical. These very magical functioning creatures. Like we've got a whole system going on that like it's wildly beautiful. I mean, we're really just a walking bag of poop, but it's kind of neat, right? It's kind of neat. And we have free will to choose our thought to create anything that we desire. It's on you. What you conceive in your mind, you receive in your reality. What you believe, you receive. Your mind cannot conceive the impossible. So everything that you are pondering, everything that you are stirring up within yourself, every vibration that's in there that you are is vibrating into all that is, and you are receiving exactly that. And when you have a low, it's an opportunity for you to say, let me be present for a fucking second here. Did I master it? Did I master it? Because I just went through something. Did I master it? Can I sustain this? Or am I going to go back into old habits? Because that's what we do. We go through a situation. So let's say you've only ever had toxic love, is a real good example. Okay. Really good example. Sit down, listen up. Toxic love, toxic love, toxic love, love of our fucking life. And we're like, oh my God. The chemistry. I have a student right now. I love you. You know who you are. The chemistry, the connection, the way they nurtured you, the way they loved you, the way they gifted you, the way they spoke your love language, the vibe that you just cannot explain. You have this connection and you're like wild ass love. Oh my God. And all you've had is toxic, right? And then all of a sudden, that motherfucker goes and cheats on you or shows up married to another person, or turns out to be already married, or takes off across the country, or boom, gone, drops you like a hot potato. Okay. It's interesting saying hot potato, but I would probably drop it too. Drop it like a hot potato. And all of a sudden you're sitting there heartbroken and smashed. And you're like, oh my God, what just happened? This is how your energy works. Okay. The universe testing you. You will attract into your life what you are ready for. You will attract into your life consistently what you are. But if you have healed some of you, you will get a little snapshot of what you're actually capable of manifesting, aligning with, receiving. So you get the thing to give yourself confirmation that you are capable and you are ready. But most of humanity in that moment of being dropped like a hot potato will focus on being dropped like a hot potato, and they will go into broken heart and they will stay there. And then they won't trust the next person that comes in, because what if they get dropped again? And it was the best love. It had to be right person, wrong time. It's so devastating. No, that or better. That's what you're capable of. Exactly the good stuff you felt. That's what you were capable of. That was a little snapshot. But instead of going into, for me, this is so devastating, take a fucking moment and realize that's the principle of rhythm showing you. So now the pause comes up, little down. So in that little down, you have an option. You can stay focused and keep yourself trapped there for as long as it takes. Healing, take however you want, however long you need to take. But you don't understand, my heart's broken. Like, I've never been devastated like that before, and I have abandonment issues. Then fix your fucking abandonment issues and move on. You can do it like that. You do not have to drag it out. You do not have to hold on to it. You probably enjoy being a victim to something at that point. So maybe look at that. Why do I want to be a victim? Because I need to be seen. Then go be seen. Go fill your fucking bucket. Go do it. You've been holding on to that vibration. You have the choice to hold on to it and stay there in that low, or you have the option to say, if I'm capable of aligning with that or better, huh? And you can celebrate the fact that you have finally been seen. You finally have received your worth. You finally have received the love of your life. You finally have received what you know can be out there, what's out there for you. And you put your whole focus on that, and you can be like, well, then watch me. Same thing with your finances. You finally get the job, you get the financial flow, you start to make progress in your life, you start to get your savings, you start to build up, and something comes along and tears you down. I had that with my second husband. It was fucking awesome sauce. Ugh. I was soaring, and this of a man comes in, depletes me completely of my finances to the point of bankruptcy. Like, okay, I was really dumb then too, but whatever. Figured it out. And I stayed in the, oh my God, but it's so hard. Now I'm bankrupt and da 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 da. Like, it was hard to go through, let me tell you, but I stayed focused on it. The moment I figured it out, I was like, oh, no, 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 no. If I can actually have that kind of money, I could do better. Have I healed everything in regards to my relationship with prosperity? Ding, 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 ding. That's your sign. Have you healed everything in order to allow you to go to the next level? So law of rhythm is going to kick in, and you're going to get a little low to have a little self-evaluation of what would be next for me and what would it take for me to go there? Because that's how we work, because we're not smart. We don't know to move forward because we get really comfy, right? We're like, oh, this is okay. This is great. Some of us, not me. Mm-mm, not me. I want to be more powerful than like the most perceived powerful man out there. Watch me. I'm not going to grow a dick, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to show you that it's possible. I'm going to 100% show you that it's possible. And I already have. You should see my fucking life. Like, I've got it all. I'm good. But I want to demonstrate it so that you will follow that path so that you can do it. So when you are tested by the universe, please self-check. Please self-check. What's left for me to heal, to level up to the next level? Because that's all it is. Your consciousness, the creator energy that you are, that is flowing through your veins, that is in your cellular structure, is like, you ready? So here's what's next. We can go. We can create more, because it wants to create your isness, your soul. That's what everybody calls it. It's so stupid. But anyway, your isness, your consciousness, the thing that you are on the inside, wants to create, and it doesn't care if it creates bad or good. It just wants to create full tilt, unleashed, unharnessed creator energy. It's your ego that wants the good stuff, but it's also your ego that's creating the bad stuff. So heal the ego. Every time you think that you're being tested, it's just your isness being like, that's available. Let's have a look. Get this under control. Your business is like, fuck, man, this ego. Like, could you imagine a whole comedy show in between the conversation between the business and the ego self? Like, just ridiculous. Well, if you're in my head, it would be really, really funny. But that's what's happening. It's like, yo, ego self, remember how good that felt? Yeah. Yeah. You liked that, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. If you could stop being a moron right now, if you could stop being a dumb fuck and you could actually look at what's possible for us, we just got to tweak this one thing. Here it is. Here it is. And it's shoving it to the surface. And your ego self is like, no, it's because men are toxic. No, it's because you have to work hard for money and it's being stupid. Get the point. Okay. The universe is never testing you. No such thing. It's you. It's you, boo. It's all you. It is your isness pushing forward what the ego so desperately wants to hold on to. And the ego only wants to hold on to it because it wants to be left. And it doesn't know how magnificent it actually is. So go look in the mirror. Go fall in love with your damn self. Go celebrate your damn self and go look for a million reasons to say thank you. I love you. And I will see you next week. If you want seats for the Galactic event, oh, what is it called? This is me, my whiteboard, and too many things. Oh, it's going to be fucking great, actually. The Galactic event, also from 6 to 9 on July 3rd. It's a Wednesday. Um, it is 2 heavy meditations. I have never opened up. You're going to get so fucking triggered. I have never opened up my quantum and galactic healing before for a group ever. I'm fucking doing it because I'm ready to shake some shit. Like, I'm done being kind of alone over here. I have like maybe half a dozen people are on this end that are like, yeah, look at us go. It's fucking awesome. But none of them live in Canada at the moment. So I'm going to shake some shit up for you because I want a community of like-minded people. So selfishly, let me show you. But also I know how good it feels to really arrive in that space. So we're going to do a meditation to activate your galactic connections as well as your psyche. We're going to go through some channeled messaging in regards to anchoring into 5D and how the solar flares are fucking you up because it's a thing. And then we're going to go into a full quantum galactic healing session, which I've never done before. It will shake you up. You're going to cry. You're going to get angry. So sorry, not sorry, but let's move it out of the body so that you can actually create what you want. So that's on the 3rd. If you want information on the retreat of anchoring in, or the journey through 5D, so anchoring into 5D and beyond, that is on the 17th, 24th, and 31st. It's for 3 hours each one. It is intense. It is not fluffy. It's a lot of content. It is going to be recorded. You will have access to that forever, for however long the website's up, to revisit it as you need to. Don't rush through it. It's going to be wild and very transformative. So if you want to arrive there, join me. All right. Mwah. Love you guys. Go kick ass. Stop putting your power outside of yourself. And I will see you when I see you. Bye.